Have you ever just looked up and realized you've been scrolling for like an hour? Your phone just has this magnetic pull, right? You're definitely not alone. So in this explainer, we're going to break down how you can get that control back. And the best part is, you don't have to delete a single app.
I think most of us get this whole thing wrong. We think we're hooked on the videos or the memes themselves. But this quote, this reframes everything. The real hook isn't the content you're seeing, it's the anticipation of what might pop up next. It is literally the thrill of the hunt. So let's get one thing straight right off the bat. If you feel like you can't stop, this is not a personal failure. It is not a lack of willpower. These systems, these apps, are engineered, literally designed by very smart people to keep you engaged. Your brain is just doing what it's supposed to do, inside a trap that was perfectly designed for it.
Okay, so what is this trap really? How does it actually work inside our brains? Well, it has a name. It's called the dopamine loop.
And here it is. Now, people always call dopamine the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite right. It's actually the motivation chemical. See, it's this ancient tool that kept our ancestors searching for food or looking for new information. And today, every single swipe, every scroll, it's like pulling the lever on a slot machine. Your brain gets a tiny hit of dopamine from the chance, the mere possibility of seeing something amazing, not from actually seeing it. That's the loop that keeps you hooked. So we know the loop is powerful, but what kicks it off? What's that initial feeling, that itch that makes us reach for our phones before the loop even starts? It almost always begins with a specific emotion. And this is what it's called escape behavior. And honestly, just think about it for a second. When are you most likely to start scrolling? It's when you're bored, right? Or when you're procrastinating on a tough project, or maybe feeling a little anxious. We use our devices to escape that discomfort. And that escape, well, that's the fuel for the whole dopamine loop engine. So are we just trapped, doomed to scroll forever? Absolutely not. And the solution isn't about some massive digital detox where you delete all the apps you actually enjoy. It's about being more intentional and using a really simple but powerful strategy to take the whole loop apart. All right, let's get into it. The solution is all about the power of friction. This one simple idea is how you start to take back control from the very designs that were meant to control you. Friction theory is honestly, it's just beautiful in its simplicity. See, if these apps are designed to be frictionless, super easy and effortless to use, then the way you fight back is by adding a little bit of that friction back in. Think of it like putting a small speed bump on a street where people always drive too fast. It doesn't stop traffic, but it makes everyone slow down and actually think about what they're doing. I mean, just look at the difference here. On the left, it's that frictionless flow we were talking about, all designed to keep you passive and zoned out. But on the right, we've just added a tiny barrier, a moment of friction. Instead of an endless feed, you have to consciously click load more. Instead of a video just playing automatically, you have to choose to hit play. Each one of those little obstacles interrupts the mindless zombie scrolling and forces a conscious choice. Okay, the theory makes sense, but how do you actually do it? Let's build your action plan, something you can start using literally today. It's a super simple 3-step process. First, you've got to identify your loop. Which app is your go-to when you're trying to escape? Be honest. Second, introduce one tiny barrier. That's it, just one. And third, and this is the magic part, just observe. Notice that little pause the barrier creates, that half-second delay. That is your window of opportunity. That's your moment to ask, wait a second, do I really want to be doing this right now? And if you're wondering what this actually looks like, here are some incredibly simple ideas. Logging out is a classic for a reason. Just the act of having to type in a password can be enough to break the spell. Or try this. Move your problem app off the home screen and bury it in a folder. That extra swipe gives your brain just enough time to think. Even turning off notifications is huge because it removes the external trigger and forces you to be the one to decide when to open the app. And this is the whole point, right? Friction isn't about blocking yourself or punishing yourself. It's about breaking an automatic, unconscious habit and waking up your conscious brain. You're turning a mindless reflex into a mindful choice. You're giving your future self a chance to make a better decision. So I'll leave you with this question. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. Just think, what's one small, tiny speed bump you can build for your biggest time-wasting app today? Just start with that. That one small step can be a real game changer. Thanks for diving into this with me.